Okay, this is going to be three fights I'm going to look at. I'm looking at Hopkins versus Kovalev, Pacaquiao versus Algeri, and Beltran versus Crawford. So first of all, let's talk about Hopkins Kovalev. I did a breakdown this fight before, but this is how I see the fight going. I believe Bernard Hopkins is going to come into the ring doing what he normally does, which is trying to out hustle an opponent, using all the experience he's got and hoping that that experience is going to get through 12 rounds and he's going to be able to outpoint Kovalev. See, the thing with this fight for me is the one thing you can't really take away from Kovalev is the fact that he is not just a big puncher, but he's a devastating puncher. I made my point quite clear about this, about the Cleverly fight. Cleverly, young, fit, strong fighter in his prime, regardless of what you may think of Cleverly. One thing he's an athlete and he's fit. And of course, Hopkins is fit as well. My point is this, that Kovalev hasn't been knocking over just bums, and it's the way he's dispatching of his opponents. He's knocking them out in style. And I suspect that Bernard's going to come in the ring, trying to out old man Kovalev. But this is what I think will happen. He'll get in the ring thinking he can out old man Kovalev. But what he's going to find is a guy that's going to come out, put lots of pressure on Bernard, and hit Bernard often, and not allow Bernard any time to space to move or to do the nonsense he's going to do. So Kovalev, if he has to hit on the break, he'll hit on the break. If Kovalev has to fight on the inside, he'll fight on the inside. If Kovalev has to fight dirty, he'll fight dirty. Kovalev will win this fight by any means necessary. You could say the same thing for Hopkins. Now, Hopkins has got a great chin, it's never been stopped. But doesn't mean he hasn't been dropped. And he has been dropped in his career. He's been dropped quite a few times in his career. He's always got up to win. But you name me one guy that Hopkins has fought that hits with the sort of power that Kovalev does. And the other thing you've got to take into consideration, I think Kovalev is a natural light heavyweight. Hopkins is not a natural light heavyweight. We say, oh, well, he's won fights at light heavyweight before. Yeah, he has. But name me one guy who's been in the ring that hits as hard as Kovalev. Not Dawson, not Pascal, not even Pavlik. Okay? Even when he fought Pavlik, Pavlik had moved up to light heavyweight. He fought De La Hoya. De La Hoya was a welterweight. You know, his best days as a puncher was like as a welterweight. Felix Trinidad, you know, when he fought Felix Trinidad's best punches or best power was really as a welterweight as well. You know, Jean Pascal, you wouldn't call as a real one-punch knockout artist, nor Dawson. You know, so I'm not taking away from Hopkins, but for this fight, I believe this is the passing of the torch. Bernard Hopkins has no business being in the ring at 49 years old with Kovalev, none whatsoever. And you know, if Hopkins does go out and he beats Kovalev, well, yeah, he's got the experience to do it. He's got the experience, you could say, but has he got the experience of beating a guy with this type of punch power? And you can't take that away. And Kovalev can box a bit as well. But I think while Hopkins tries to outman or out hustle Kovalev, he's gonna get caught and he's gonna get knocked out. And you know what? I would even go as brave to say as this fight is stopped within 6. I am, because, and it's going to depend a lot on the referee, but I don't see Bernard being able to absorb the power of Kovalev. He's had a lot of experience with a lot of fighters, but this is a different experience for Hopkins. This is a different experience, you know, against a guy who is not just heavy-handed. So I'm going Kovalev inside 6 to really wipe out Hopkins. You know, I could get this completely wrong, but I think when you're doing predictions, you've got to call it how you see it, and I just see Hopkins getting wiped out in there. And unfortunately for Kovalev, people say, well, Hopkins is 49 years old. What do you got to prove? So after he gets rid of Hopkins, I'd like to see him fight either Jean Pascal or, of course, Stevenson. I don't see the Stevenson fight happening anytime soon, but I would like to see Kovalev fight Pascal because I think that'd be a great ding dong fight. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that fight. Algeri Pacaquiao. Pacaquiao fighting, I think that's 140 pound now against Algeri. Do you remember when Pacaquiao was knocking everybody out and stopping people and had that ferocious punch power? Then suddenly it all stopped. I can't remember the last time Pacaquiao had a stoppage victory. For me, Algeri is a good fighter. He's taller than Pacaquiao, but then so is Margarito. I think that Pacaquiao puts on a devastating performance against Algeri, knocking Algeri out. Everyone will be excited at the fact that he's back. Pacaquiao, I don't think they want to take too many chances with Manny Pacquiao at this time of his career. So for me, I think that Pacquiao wins by knockout against Algeri. Even though I think that Pacquiao has faded as a fighter, I still believe that he is the more experienced, the better rounded fighter. And this is not Provodnikov he's in the ring with. This is a guy that knows how to box, knows how to get in and out, and lands hard, fast combinations. And I don't think Algeri knows what he's got in the ring with when he's fighting Pacquiao. So those are my thoughts on that. Beltran versus Crawford. Oh my gosh. I mean, as you know, I've done quite a few interviews with Terence Crawford. When Terence Crawford, a lot of people didn't know about Terence Crawford. And of course, I've interviewed Ray Beltran. Both fighters I love in the lightweight division. It was a fight that inevitably was going to happen. I said to you guys, I predicted that Crawford would knock out Gamboa. I thought Gamboa was too small, the weight. And this fight against Beltran, I'm actually going for the upset. There was something I saw in the Crawford fight when he fought Gamboa, and Gamboa hurt Crawford. He hurt him. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if Gamboa can hurt you, and he's like a super featherweight moving up. I know Gamboa's a puncher, yes. But, I'm looking at that left hook of Beltran. And yes, Crawford is the better slickster, better boxer. But now he's in with a lightweight that can punch, and I do believe Beltran, should have beaten Burns, but I believe Beltran wins this fight. I'm tipping Beltran for this one. I hate to go against Crawford, but it's just how I see it. I see, although Crawford is the better boxer, as I said, I saw in that Gamboa fight that he can be hit, he can be hurt. And I believe that Beltran's the man at the right time to do the job there. So it's a making for a great fight. Both guys I like. But I'm just leaning towards Beltran in this one. Desire, hunger. I mean, that fight of Crawford against Gamboa was a really good fight. But I think Beltran's left hook will be the key in this fight, and his body work. But what you guys think? I could be completely off with the Crawford fight, but I'm just saying it the way I see it, and I guess that's all you can do. Final words, final thoughts on the whole Keith Thurman thing with Bundu. I mean, Bundu's unbeaten. He's European champion. I guess in terms of marketability, it's probably not the fight a lot of Thurman fans want to see. All people want to see is a test. Bundu's unbeaten. He's just beaten Frankie Gavin, who was unbeaten as well. Frankie Gavin was a great amateur, very good amateur. So, Bundu's put a good performance there. I think Thurman wins this fight, but he's got to be careful. The one thing Thurman mustn't do in this fight is leave his chin out, because Bundu will take it off for him. In terms of Thurman and this whole Roc Nation thing, my personal opinion is Keith Thurman has made a valid point that we really don't know what Jay-Z, in terms of Roc Nation and that company, whoever owns Roc Nation. I know Jay-Z might be the front man for it, but there's obviously people in the background. To just jump ship from Al Haven, who to something that you don't know. Yes, it's $6 million, but but you don't know what is in that $6 million contract. And unless we've seen the contract, we really don't know what you're tied to. For those, for that 6 million, you could be tied to the 6 million contract, and it could be a fact that for that 6 million, you may have to fight. The next 3-4 fights could be all the top 10 opponents. Could be great, but you could burn out your career very quickly as well. And you don't have a choice of who you fight. You fight who they tell you to fight, and when they tell you to fight. So I don't know. I don't know what the contractual obligations would be, and nobody knows really. So I think if you want to go by the expression "better the devil you know than the devil you don't," then I guess Thurman's got a point. I believe that Keith Thurman will fight the best fighters in the world, but he's got to get past Leonard Bundu first and take care of business. And I believe if he puts Leonard Bundu on the back foot and hits him with hard, fast punches, he can stop Bundu, I believe. But he's just got to be careful, because Keith has a habit of leaving his chin in the air and wanting to test and see how good his chin is. I would not suggest that against Leonard Bundu. It could end up being a nightmare for Keith. So those are my thoughts about the fights. That's about it. Yeah, I'm tipping Bellew to KO Cleverly in the rematch. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. And the one other final point: Billy Joe Saunders versus Chris Eubank Jr. hasn't turned up to the press conferences. Kind of wonder what the Eubanks are playing at. I mean, obviously you want to promote a fight. Why would you not turn up to press conferences? Because clearly that's to promote the fight. My only concern is now, is the fight actually going to go ahead? Is Eubank going to turn up on the night? That's the other thing. Is he actually going to... I mean, the way this is going so far, you could get a situation where you've got all this promotion with Chris Eubank Jr. for him not to fight on the night. Could you imagine if he just didn't turn up and fight on the night? After all the hype. Listen, whether it's good publicity or bad publicity, people are still talking about you. So as far as Eubank's concerned, senior, he's in the limelight. People are talking about him again. So if you didn't turn up and fight Billy Joe Saunders on the night, it probably wouldn't look great. But anything's possible. So it's crazy. I don't think it's not a good look for the sport. But okay, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'm out.